Hi, good evening. It's Bobby Thomas here again. I just thought I'd read to you a couple verses from Psalm 121 to give you some encouragement and help at this time. Let me read the first two verses of Psalm 121. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. These few verses are fitting, especially for today when we're going through this coronavirus pandemic lockdown. This lockdown didn't surprise God. Nothing surprises God. This is part of God's plan for his will, and that's why this pandemic is happening. This song of ascent was a psalm that they would sing as they ascended up to the temple in Jerusalem, which was quite high above sea level. And that's why it's called a psalm of ascent. And they would have sung this going up. And as they were going up to the hill in Jerusalem, up to the temple, they would see all around the big mountains. And as they looked to the mountains, their eyes looked to the hills. Where does my help come from? So as they lift up their eyes to the mountains, they ask this question, where does my help come from? And they're wondering where their help comes from. And they know all along where their help comes from. And in verse 2 it says, my help comes from the Lord. So the Lord gives them the help that they need in their time of distress, in the same way the Lord gives us the help that we need in our times of stress and distress and hurt. And this time God is with us. He gives us the help that we need, the physical, spiritual and mental strength that we need to get through this pandemic. And God will help us through this pandemic. He will give us the help that he needs. And if he can create this beautiful world that we see around us, he can help us through this pandemic, and he will help us through. He's a loving God. He's a kind God. He's a gracious God, slow to anger and abounding in love and mercy. There's a reason for this pandemic. We've got to trust in him and believe in him and have faith. And it's very, very difficult, I know, but that's what we need to do. And if he can create this beautiful world around us, he can give us the help and the support and guidance we need during this pandemic of coronavirus. Also, what I want to say is God is loving, God is kind, and God will always help us through this time. And he will always help us. And he will always be with us. So he's mightier and powerful than the Bible mountains. He's more powerful than the coronavirus. And he will help us through. And he will never leave us nor forsake us. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is he who trusts in him. And that is a wonderful, wonderful verse. And another verse I love is that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So he's the same faithful God yesterday, he's the same faithful God today, and the same faithful God forever. Jesus Christ God will help us yesterday, he'll help us today, he'll help us forever, and he'll always be with us, and he'll always help us during the times that we need. So don't lose heart, and trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. And the final verse that I want to talk to you about is verse 7. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He'll watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. So these two verses can bring great encouragement. First of all, the Lord will keep us from all harm. Sometimes the Lord won't prevent us from harm. If it's his will for harm to come, if it's part of his plan to help us to grow in our faith. But God won't do anything out of spite or anything to hurt us, because he's a loving and kind God. And he watches over our life. So he's going to watch over our life in the past. He watched over our life now during the coronavirus, and he'll watch over our life in the future as well. And isn't that a great encouragement, both now and forever? Take care. Hope it's an encouragement. Speak to you all soon. God bless. Take care. Until the next video. Goodbye.